Our planet is at an epoch. Massive change. A change away from fossil fuel to renewable energy, to power, love, a future for future generations. But we need leaders, non-profit leaders. What about the old boy network?
Buzzer, I think I could be a leader here. This is Boris Johnson. Now, I've fought the virus and won. I have fought the Europe and I have won. Now I think it's time to beat the planet into shape with some green technology. What do you think, Bozzy?
Okay, Boris. Yeah, okay, he is a leader. And I am absolutely certain his girlfriend means quite well. The downside of that, there is a price to pay. Money. Yes, and serving. Hands up who wants to make Boris Johnson his tea and clean his underwear. And me, please. I would love to do that. But I've got a job cleaning bins. I empty bins for a living. I sit in an old bit of technology, an old diesel truck that should have really been decommissioned about 50 years ago. But nonetheless, what do? I believe in a zero waste society. About 20 years ago, I learned about that. I'm also learning a lot about biofabrication and knew about hemp and hemp fibres and natural resins and cold pressing. I was a sculptor, so I did sort of learn about fabrication. Anyhow, not to mention ceramic bearings, you mix all those together, you've basically got a car that lasts forever. Oh, and takes in locked-in carbon in the plants that you use to manufacture the car. Now, okay, we've got amazing global technology, but we've got buffoons in charge. Why? Well, I don't know about you, but I am a serf. I serve. At the age of 16, I had a little moped, wing, 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 and guess what? I used to serve teas. Yes, in Warple Court Hotel. It was a 4-star hotel then, and I would serve teas and cakes, and I would arrange the biscuits particularly nicely. And if I liked the person, I used to give them a jammy dodger. If I didn't like them, it was rich tea all around. Anyhow, what I did notice is the rich Americans were very mean because they didn't serve. But they were very powerful and had lots of money. Even one of them had bought their Cadillac over because they felt our cars were unsafe. Well, I suppose they were. And I carried his bags up and her bags, this elderly couple, and they gave me nothing. In fact, they were a bit arrogant and rather rude. That gave me some ideas. I also worked with Boris Johnson on a television programme. He was arrogant and rude behind the scenes. No, he wasn't actually. He was okay, but just ignored me. If there's a problem, ignore it. Actually, it's a good bit of advice. I learnt that from a rich man once. Is there a problem? Ignore it. It goes away. Or if it doesn't, you pay somebody, a solicitor. They usually make it go away. However, Boris has never served anybody. When he was 16 and 17, he was in Eton. He had a fag. I think that means that they did special favours and served you. One of the lesser boys. Now, he might have been a fag, but it was just a way of saying, look, this is shit. You want to be a leader, rhetoric. You want to learn how to win an argument. And that is what Boris did. So when he went to university, when I went to art college at 30, which was a university, by the way, I also worked in toilets. In the morning, I would get up at 5 o'clock in the morning and do 2 hours cleaning because I didn't really have much of a grant to pay for the rent. Then I would start college at 8 o'clock. So I was tired after a cup of coffee then. Anyway, the strange thing, Boris Johnson, meanwhile, went to Eton. Or was it? No, Cambridge. Then at Cambridge, what did he do? He went to posh restaurants and ate late at night with his friends. Maybe David Cameron and him and some other friends and wags from, let's say, some public schools somewhere, who are going to be solicitors, perhaps. They're good old boys, aren't they? And they would eat in a top restaurant. They would be served food because that is what they expect. They are served because they are going to be leaders, and they are leaders. They're leading us at the moment. That's why it's such a huge mess. Because rhetoric and money, doesn't necessarily buy you common sense application of appropriate technologies at the right time, because if it doesn't make money, they're not interested in it, which is going to be a bit of an interesting thing in the future. But we'll come to that later on. So basically, leadership. I still serve, and it's one of the biggest hurdles we've got to all overcome. It's about love and helping people. It's not about actually serving, and it's not about arrogancy. Of course, I'll clean a toilet is not a problem with that. It'll be a compost toilet, and it'll be an anaerobic digester making gas, which will be then used in the appropriate way. The future is going to be a world of peace, love, and healthcare for all. And we're going to pay for it because we're going to actually take the money from the leaders because they're toxic. The global leaders are now toxic. They are ill-equipped, and I should say not fit for purpose anymore. They were maybe for wars, I'm not sure, when they sent the plebs to be slaughtered because of our servitude. But now things are going to change. Yes, it's an epoch. It's Mother Earth. It's about female. It's about giving. It's about caring and appropriate technology. But we haven't got much time. So if you're a leader, contact Big Buzz. Well, I've got a bit of an ego. I call myself Small Buzz. That's what happens after you've been cleaning up dog shit for most of your life. And most of all, young people, old people, we all start getting together and communicating, looking at the appropriate non-toxic technologies and applying them. And we're going to tax the billionaires. And we're going to take our planet over. That's the whole global system. We're not just talking about one little pathetic country. We're talking about our Earth, which is really small and wonderful. Okay, love you. Bye.